Up to you?
Yeah. Same. Caught again and again.
Same song all the time and all the time.
I think vilken det var. Kommer inte ihåg vad den heter. Men de spelar så rap hela tiden.
Ja, hela tiden. Sån musik.
Sexual tactic during interrogation against you too?
Personally, no. Me personally, no. But I have met people who it's happened to and spoke to them.
Did they ever try that with you, Martin?
Ja, jag försökte med det.
På vilket sätt kan du förklara?
Ja, det var... De hade försökt massor med andra grejer och senare så skickade de in en tjej då. Som... hon hade vanlig så här militär uniform så här. Så hon kom till mig och började prata och så här och säga att hon kunde göra mycket för mig och så här och börja ta på mig och massera mig och ta på mig på vissa platser och så här. Och sen att hon kunde hjälpa mig med massor med grejer och så här. Och sen när hon kom ibland närmare vissa ställen så jag liksom så här liksom gjorde med händerna så här lite, försökte skydda mig lite så hon sitter lugnt och så här och liksom ja, i alla fall hon blir till slut förbannad när jag inte liksom alltså när jag inte blev intresserad eller jag inte blev gick inte med på hennes villkor och så här så hon gick ut efter ett tag. Och jag sa, sen lämnade hon sa när du vill, det bara säga att du vill träffa, hon heter Silvia, sa hon. Säg bara när du vill, säg att du vill bara träffa mig så vi ska ordna allt och så här. Sen gick hon.
Maybe that sounds like a prisoner's wet dream. To have a woman in uniform come in and give him a massage. But we are sure that the methods aren't used for the prisoner's comfort and convenience. What kind of bizarre interrogation methods are being used at Guantanamo? And what happens to the prisoners that are still being held there? And are these methods really sanctioned from above? Part of the answer comes thanks to the Abu Ghraib scandal in Iraq, which set off a storm of protests and a wave of investigations, which made public thousands of previously classified documents. Human rights activists all over the world begin taking measures to get prisoners released from Guantanamo.
Even in the Schlesinger report, you get a piece of paper like this, which is called Evolution of Interrogation Techniques, Guantanamo. These are techniques actually approved by our Secretary of Defense, Donald Rumsfeld. And if you read them, you get sickened by them.
Among all the documents, we find a story. A story that has its beginning in the fall of 2002. They have a problem at Guantanamo. The prisoners have stopped talking, and the old methods don't seem to be effective anymore. Now, they want to interrogate for 20-hour sessions, remove prisoners' clothes, let them stand naked in uncomfortable positions, make them wear hoods. they also want permission under medical supervision to lower the temperatures in interrogation rooms and take advantage of prisoners' phobias in order to get them to talk. For example, a prisoner's fear of dogs.
So here you have our Secretary of Defense authorizing the use of dogs. And of course, the word phobias is particularly interesting because that has to do with the religious fact for Muslims that dogs are unclean.
What later happens in the interrogation room, when the new methods are implemented, only the prisoners know, and their interrogators. The problem is the interrogators at Guantanamo don't give interviews, with one exception, Tori Nelson. He's featured as a witness in an investigation about the photos. Apparently, he also worked at Guantanamo when the request for tougher methods were sent. He agrees to meet with us and explain the methods used there.
18 and 19, change of scenery up and change of scenery down. This is where you take the person out of the environment that they're used to. And if you put them in a change of scenery up, maybe you put them in a nicer area. Change of scenery down, meaning that you're going to put them into an isolation chamber, cold conditions, raw sewage smell, or something like that, where just the conditions are much worse. Face slap, stomach slap, if you can hit them enough so that it shocks them, especially if it gets a loud slap, but you don't actually break any bones, cut them, bruise them, then that's an effective technique, is the way that they would usually refer to it as. The hooding is actually placed over their head, and the interrogator shouts their questions at them through the hood. A prolonged standing makes someone lean against a wall in an uncomfortable position. If they were to do it for 5 seconds, it wouldn't be too much of a bother. After 5-10 minutes, it really starts to wear down their physical resistance. Environmental manipulation, if they come from warmer climates, putting them into a cold room, almost like a freezer for us. False flag, when interrogators will come in and pretend to be from another country, where the person could face the threat of physical torture, abuse, long-term incarceration, those sorts of things. Increased anxiety by use of aversions, if they had phobias of heights or of certain animals, you might introduce that to make them uncomfortable. All of these are, in my humble opinion, completely ineffective and detrimental to the overall mission, which is to gain actionable intelligence, to gain willing cooperation. You could use these techniques if you got 10 people to maybe give you a little bit of information using these techniques. I guarantee you I could get one person to give more information if I was to convince that one person that we're the good guys and that we're their friends. Face slap, stomach slap, generally the hooding about was we're the good guys and we're their friends. Throughout the time that I was there was pressure from above for results. They weren't worried about, are you abiding by Geneva Conventions and such. That wasn't on the daily requests from higher command. The requests that were coming down the pipeline were, how many reports have you written on what subjects? What information have you gotten? What cooperation have you gotten? Which sources have become key sources? That's what they were worried about, results. Because their mentality was, well, the longer that we've got them in detention, the more people we're going to get to break, right? It's just a matter of time to get these guys to break, right? So you should be getting more results, not fewer results, the longer that you hold them.